Hello viewers, this is Salone Discoveries with KID-AFAN with me, Ishmahi Dadis Bangua. Since we don't complete the voter registration exercise some days ago, today we understand that the Election Commission Sierra Leone, when ECSL they release a press release, we forgo all over the country based on waiting come up at the voter registration exercise. So we go now and discover exactly waiting the Election Commission Sierra Leone get for say about the past voter registration exercise.
Okay, I am Raymond A.N. George, Director of Media and Communications, Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone.
Via social media, we did see that the Commission has pulled out a release. Can you confirm that?
Yes, we made a press statement today, and it's coming from the Commission. That I must attest.
What are some of the commitments in this release?
Now, you know, we've just completed the extended period for the voter registration, and in the press release, the Commission did agree that it was a successful exercise, and they thanked the public for participating peacefully and patiently in the process, and we also extended thanks to the staff, both permanent, ad hoc, and all others that have worked for the successful completion of the exercise. Special thanks also go to those we collaborated with, that is the PPRC. We also give thanks and appreciation for the collaboration we got from NCRA and the ONS and the security sector generally for the role they played in ensuring that the exercise itself was peaceful.
Okay, during the entire process, did the Commission reach its threshold?
Now, we never got any threshold from the very beginning because we know voter registration in Sierra Leone is voluntary. Now, we know we have a population of 7.5 million people, and in the last exercise, when we had 7,092,113 people in Sierra Leone, we had a voter register of 3.1 million. Now that we have a 7.5 million, we are expecting that number to increase. So it's not a threshold because it's voluntary. You could be qualified, you could be eligible, but you don't want to come out and be part of the register. So we cannot force people to come out. So you cannot set a threshold. You have to wait until people come, and then you come out with the number that you've captured. We only know you want to be part of our process when you actually come to the center and express that willingness. And that is why we ensured that all those who came to the center were captured, and those that were rejected were given registration forms, and they will be part of the next stage of the process, which is the exhibition and inquiry period. Because we also have to appoint inquiry officers who will come out and sit on those matters of rejections. And then if the people are qualified, then we'll open up the register again, and they will be captured and put into the register.
Okay, all right. Now from data capture, approximately what the total amount of people that register in this process?
Now, we cannot come out with a figure for now. In the press release, we did mention that we are doing data consolidation. We have to ensure that every data captured from the 3,630 centers are placed into a central server. And in that central server, that is the time we do what we call the deduplication. That is, we pick out those that have registered twice, or those that have registered in more than one VRC or more than one district. And those ones will have to fish out. And later we'll come out with the provisional voter register, which will be subject to corrections. And then we'll also open up the register again at exhibition to capture those that were rejected, who will come again for appeals and who will be successfully with their appeals. So we'll have to make sure we capture them and put them again into the register. After which we'll come out with a final voter register that will be made public.
Again, with regards to the appeals, there are some set of people, personally with disability, and people that said to be 18 before the election. They are complaining that they were unable to register. Have you plans for them?
Now, if you are unable to register, then
they presented their birth certificate, their affidavit, but they were unable to register. There are plans for them.
Now, for every stage, you have people that are the target people. Now, the exhibition process and inquiry process will be targeting those that have rejection forms and the appeals form, and they come forward for appeal. Remember, if you still have the form and you stay at home, then you will not be captured. We'll not go to your house to bring you back to say, come and go through the inquiry process. So what we'll do is that we are encouraging them to come. And when they come, we register them. If you have not got the registration form, then you will not be part of that process. Because it's the registration and the appeals form that you take to the inquiry officer. Because in that form, the arrow would have stated why you were rejected. And then they will look into that matter. But if you don't have it, then you cannot be part of that process.
Okay, now, before now, during past or previous registration, we see people who were not having documentation, for instance, birth certificate or passport, they were captured into the register. But now, as long as you don't have any document, even if you are recommended by someone like the law says, the chief, imam or pastor, you are not allowed to register. Why? Now
we have in force the Public Elections Act of 2022, which is the new one that has just been signed by the president. It is that law that we are using. And in that law, it states that the registration officer must be satisfied. And it gives power to the registration officer to ask for those documents in satisfying himself. So that is the law they have used, and that is the law we've all been subjected to. So to say that somebody went with a birth certificate, for the exercise itself, I've been saying it over and over again, we don't need a birth certificate for you to be registered into the voter, for you to become a voter. Yeah. Right? You present yourself, and in the process, if the registration officer is in doubt, then in satisfying himself, the law gives him the mandate, him or her, the mandate to ask you to go and come with document proofs, which is the birth certificate, the national ID card, national passport, etc. But again, if you don't have that, it also makes provision for you to have a non-documentary proof, which you are talking about. Yeah. But again, it says in satisfying himself. Okay. If he is not satisfied, he still has got the right to reject you and then give you a registration form stating why he has rejected you, he or she has rejected you.
Okay, there is a center that I covered. Someone was rejected, even though she was having a passport, Sierra Leone passport, stating that she will be 22 by January. At a center, she went to the other center and she was registered.
That is the discretion of the registration officer. You see, because if you come to my center and I am not satisfied, I am not convinced, the law gives me the power to reject you. But you can go to another center and you meet a registration officer who is satisfied, and then you'll be registered. But you see, it involves uniformity in application of the laws. And in circumstances like that one, what I would say is that we will ask our registration officers next time to actually be consistent in the application of the laws. Yes. But in that situation, I think it is discretionary because the law gives them the power.
Okay, sir. So before we go, as much as you are attesting that the process was successful, even though there are still mixed feelings within the public that the time given to 2 days was short, and it's obvious that there are people who still haven't registered. So is there any plan within the commission to extend or to give time to the public again?
Now the law gives the commission a period to give notice for registration, which is 15 days. Now, if you could remember, we came out with a press statement announcing the enlargement of time of 2 days. Now, we gave reasons. We said in the first phase that started on the 3rd of September and ended on the 17th of September, we had problems. We outrightly said we opened 95% of our centers. The 5% were affected by externalities. And we realized that when you take 5% of 1,815, it's about 91 centers. And it affected every district. So that is one justification. And the law is saying that if there are circumstances which warrant extension of time or to reduce the time, then the commission has the right to do so. So we realized that those 2 days were missing for over 91 centers. Okay, and then secondly, we did emphasize that our software in the first 2 days was not capturing those that are 17 now, but will be 18 on the day of election, which is on the 24th of June 2023. The hue and cry came from all the 16 districts. It affected all the centers because they are using the same software all over the country. In every center, there was a hue and cry that those 17 that will be 18 were not captured. So we missed out on those first 2 days, except we had to go back or updated the software, and then we went around to ensure that it is every machine that were out there were updated. So on the third day, they started capturing those people that were 17. So we realized that those 2 days that were missed were added because the law says 15 days. So that is why the 2 days that were missed in the first phase were added. But for the second phase, we had very little or no complaints. Centers were there, people were not there. And we only know that you want to be part of the register when you come to the center and you go and have physical contact with our machines. But if you are at home and you are saying you are not registered, then we cannot go to your homes to get you out. So the commission is actually not considering for now an extension, but as I say, if the circumstances arrive, then it will be considered.
Thank you.
Well, Fambulen, that na the voice of the head of communication and media na the Election Commission Sierra Leone. I don't tell you exactly about the press release where NEC released today, the 12th of October 2022, and waiting and they expect for happen or the process that we left before the election. So to meet again in another edition of your program, Salone Discoveries with KID-AFAN. Me will bring you this program in name na KID-AFAN Bangura. I want to say thank you to my cameraman Mohammed Sky Bangura and my executive producer and producer Dr. Aisatuka Kejalo. So to meet again, please subscribe to this channel.